And GJ, I noticed I noticed that today was a first green day. Oh man, hold on. Every time I do this thing start lagging. But to give a from a larger perspective, this is the 1 hour, but just showing structure how the market was pushing up. You got this high, you have this higher low, you have this higher high here. Market pulls back, creates a higher low, pushes back up, breaking this previous higher high, creating a new higher high, and then pulls back again. So then you have a first green day here on the day, which is today, Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday. Monday was the first. Monday was the first green day within structure, right? So boom. This was last week, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Wednesday was the first red day, and then boom, this day I could have took a sell, didn't take a sell on that day. You go sideways on Friday, and then Monday comes in, prints the first green day. So first green day is just a signal. The next day after the first green day is the day that we look for to take the actual trade on. I identified this. I didn't actually identify that it was first green day until today. I didn't see it yesterday and anticipate it today. That's what I was supposed to do, but I wasn't really monitoring GJ. It's just that I noticed with the other pairs, I didn't really see any opportunities, either that or I missed some. So I came over to GJ and then I noticed that it was the first green day. So I also noticed that this this bull candle right here broke the high of this wick. And then after that, you got to pull back. This is a 1 hour pullback candle right here. So when I drop down to the lower time frame, this thing is lagging bad. Dropping down to the lower time frame, this is the top of the wick that I mentioned that price broke above the top of that wick. So this push right here created a higher high from this high. So once that higher high was printed, price pulled back, and in that moment I started to anticipate to look for a buy opportunity after the first green day. So I drew a fib like this. Once I drew my fib, that showed, okay, this pullback actually is pulling back to the 5061.8. And I waited for price to close back inside of the 20 EMA. But since GJ doesn't move as fast, doesn't have as much volume as gold or the indexes, I said I don't want to wait until price pushes up above it, because it actually I might get a better price with entering right here. So I actually entered at 1833, which I believe was right. I think it was actually this candle. No, so I entered at 8:30. So I actually was a little late. Oh, I must have. Yeah, all right. So this one closed, and then this one started pushing up. That's what it was. I didn't wait until this candle actually closed. So this candle closed at 1835. So I entered 2 minutes before it closed. Because as it started to push up, I was thinking, I'm like, I'm getting further away from getting it at a better price. So I entered at 1833. And my idea was to get price to I'm trying to zoom out. To get price to go up. Here we go. To get price to go up this high, or to this red line here. So from my entry, which was 193.326, which is roughly right here. So from my entry to this red line would have been 67 pips. To this black, to that black line, let's go from the black line and I'll just drag it down. So roughly here is about 88 pips. So 88 pips. So I looked at it like I would normally go for 50 pips, but because the volume was so light and I'm thinking about how long it would take to get there and it may never get there today, I'm like, I'm just going to get out once price gets above this previous higher high. Because if in structure, if you got a low, you got a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, and then the higher high can be the target, but depending on what the instrument is, from this higher low to this higher high, that could be 50 pips. It could be 70 pips. It could be 60 pips. It could be 100 pips. But with this being GJ, this is only like 30 pips from where I entered. I think I closed out at 30. Yeah, it was like 30 something pips. The highest went was 38 pips from my entry. But from my entry to that higher high was 25 pips. So it's like I'm cool with taking that if I can accept that. All right, I'm not gonna get that much more. But my problem is when the opportunity is 100 pips, but I get out early. I feel like I'm shorting myself when I do that. But this time I don't feel like I shorted myself. That's why I was able to accept the 30 plus pips or whatever it was. So yeah, that's my trade today on GJ. This was a trend continuation after the first green day. You got your structure, plotted that out, waited for the pullback. Once the pullback happened, I waited for price to push back inside of the 20 EMA, which gave me the signal to buy, and then I rolled that up past that higher high mark and closed it out at 30 plus pips. So again, today is Tuesday, May 20th. Trading GJ.